this video I will be going over my war season spreadsheet for season 46. I did one for season 45 and I figured I might as well continue it with 46 here. And I'm just going to show off some of the war teams I've taken, the fights I've taken, how I perform with each champion, and then a bunch of stats are below it. Starting off, in the top row you can see the teams I took to each war, and then the fights below it. The yellow means I died once. Dark red, or just red I guess, means I died to the fight 3 times. And then the orange on the very right is a 2-death fight. So yeah, you can definitely see that I only had 5 deathless wars of the season, which does kind of suck, but it is what it is. This tactic, you can die to any tactic defender really easily, and that's just what happened in most of my deaths. Like in every fight in every war that had a death to it, at least one of them was to tactic. I only died to 2 non-tactic defenders the whole season. So yeah, it is hard to deal with, but you know, I'm sure that next season, having a lot more experience with the tactic and the fact that it was tuned in next season at least, it'll be tuned to where it's not as hard, at least a little bit less hard. I should have a better solo rate and stuff. But you can see the hardest fight for me, 28 Photon. And I died to that every single time I saw it, except for in War 10, where I finally figured out how to do the fight correctly. It took a while, but I eventually got the solo. You can see I vastly improved from 3 deaths to 1 death to finally a solo. It took a while, but at least we figured it out. So hopefully that fight won't be as big an issue next season. My most taken wars were War 6, 7, and 12, where I had 8 fights in all of them. And then my least taken was War 9, where I barely had any potions, so I could barely take any fights to begin with in that war. So yeah, that was a really rough one, but my least taken was 5 fights, which, you know, there are definitely some alliances out there where you will have 4-fight wars often. At least I had at least 1 mini every war. I'll take it, even though that many I did not do very well against, but it is what it is. I'm happy with how my season went. You can see the solo rate for each war down here. Not really sure how important that is, but yeah, you can see I had 500, so 5 deathless wars. My total fights per champ. This is the interesting stuff. So Tigra had 39 fights this season, which is crazy, because she had the most. Second most only had 7, and it was a Mega Sentinel. I need this to be blue, actually. Hold on. There we go, that's better. But yeah. I hope all the colors are right. They should be. But anyway, first with Tigra 39, it's insane. Second, a Mega Sentinel with 7. The difference in that is, I don't even know what to say. There was only 1 war, I believe, I didn't take Tigra, and it was War 9. Part of why that war probably went so bad for me. And Tigra's solo rate was 95%. I only died in 2 of my Tigra fights. Those are my only 2 deaths the entire, 2 non-tactic deaths the entire season 2. And then a lot of tactic fights I took with Tigra because some defenders like Thing, like Magneto, maybe some other ones I can't even think of. She just does her job well against, to where you don't even have to worry too much about the tactic. Yeah, it was mainly Thing. I could have Tigra'd the APOC, didn't do that, but I could have. Yeah, there's not like that many that she'd be able to take all the time, but I fought a Thing almost every war. Like, Thing was either always on Path 1 or on Node 37, it felt like, and I took both of those basically every time. So yeah, she worked pretty well against some of the tactic defenders. Let's see, we move here, Mega Sentinel solo rate, I had 2 deaths with her, so that's unfortunate, but she was my most used tactic attacker and second most used overall. Elsa, third most used. Moondragon, I didn't get a single solo with Moondragon. All 4 of the fights I used her for. Most of it's because 2 of them were 28 Photon, and then the other one was a Silk, the other one was a Spot. some of the hardest defenders you can fight this meta. You know, I definitely I should have soloed at least the non-photon ones, because I definitely could have done it, but whatever. Anyway, you can see the rest of my total fights per champ over here. Yeah, so a lot of them were just one-offs, like these 4. A lot of them only had 2 fights, like these. But anyway, I took a lot of different champs this season. I'm gonna move into season 45, and you can see that I took way less champs in season 45 than I took in season 46. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it worked. I think last season, actually, a lot of the bans were messing with me. This season was interesting because none of the bans really impacted me ever. I think there was one war where I wanted to take Shuri and I couldn't, but that's the only moment where I was like, that ban actually really messes with my path. So, you know, that's nice, I guess. So, yeah, I'm glad the bans didn't really affect me, and it looks like the bans aren't going to affect me much next season, so that's nice to know. So yeah, my solo rate per champ, my average fights per war were 6.9, so almost 7. Last season was 6.4. So it somehow went up. Total season fights, 83. Last season, 77. Also went up. Solo rate, 84. Last season, 92. Went down, but the tactic was much harder this season, so there's that, at least. Tactic solo rate, you can see 66%. Not very good. Definitely not very good. Could be way better. But it is what it is. I just struggled a lot. And if anything, that should be better next season. Like, there's no way it goes down with how much more experience I've gotten with it. I should be able to do a lot better. I should have been able to do a lot better this season. I'm not saying that's good. It's definitely not. But non-tactic 96. I wish I went solo. I wish I went 100% for non-tactic. Like, this was a really silly death. That death was... The entire fight was really screwy. I kind of knew at some point that I'm gonna die to this fight. But 48 Nova, I should have soloed that. It's unfortunate I didn't. Here, this is my battle group stats. You can see total fights taken here. I had the most in the entire battle group. It says 82 because one of them was a cleanup, but I did include the cleanup on my end. Solo rate, it was in the red, which, you know, that's not good. But it was like the 3rd highest in the battle group, I think. First was this person, Ratlord, but they took like almost 30 fights less than I did. Egg, my buddy, you guys probably know Egg, I've mentioned him a couple times. He's taken 81 fights, so only 1 less than me, which was kind of crazy. We were like kind of almost fighting for the top spot until the end of the season. He had a higher solo rate than me, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, my defender KOs, I got 16 total over the season. All of them were tactic defenders except Kindred. One defender I placed never got a kill. I think that was Venom. But I wouldn't have expected Venom to get a kill anyway. I'm not entirely sure what node he was on or why he was placed on defense. It might have been like a diversity placement. But yeah, Venom never got a kill for me. Silk got 6. I think they placed her on like node 46 most of the season. And yeah, she's definitely a menace there. And then this is just War 12, so you can ignore that. Favorite war was War 7. In that war, I got to take 8 fights. One of them was a really, really fun Elsa fight. I enjoyed that a lot. And I got to use Shuri for like one of the first times against these 2 fights. I had like 5 Tiger fights. They all went really well. So that was a really fun war for me. Also, War 12, mainly because I got to take Purgatory. Like, that was just so fun. I really enjoyed that one. It wasn't a very clean war, but it was a very fun war. So there's that. Least favorite war is War 3. This was my debut of bringing Moondragon to war. It went really bad. I didn't solo either of the fights I took her for, so that kind of sucks. And then my other least favorite was War 9. This was just really bad. You can see, like, this was my cleanup fight. I don't know what I just did. 40 Sauron, that was my cleanup fight where I had to get someone to clean up for me. It was just really bad through and through. It's unfortunate, but Yeah, that was just a war where I needed a break, and, you know, I had one, but it didn't feel good in the process. Also, this death was because my finger missed the special button, so that's gonna be like my most frustrating death of the season. Anyway, favorite attackers, Tigra, obviously, most taken fights. She was fun the entire season. Really glad I got to use her that much. Omega Sentinel, most used tactic. I really like using her, even though my solar rate wasn't very good with her. She was really fun to use. I enjoyed it. Penny, she had that really good redemption war, whereas I got really hyped up from the fights after I took with her, because it just went so well. It felt really good. Elsa, I wish I got to use her more. Like, if there was any champ I wish I got to use more that season, it would be Elsa. She's not, like, the craziest on Path 1, so that's probably part of it. But there were some really cool minis I did get to use with her. Least favorite Moondragon, mainly just because I had a 0% solar rate, so why wouldn't she be there, you know? Favorite node, 49. I didn't really have any nodes in particular that I thought were, like, really fun to play against. But node 49 was one I actually enjoyed using, or going on. It was actually fun to play. Least favorite, node 28. Yeah, node 28. I hated that. I hated every time I fought node 28. It was just really, really annoying. That's all I can... Here is a pie chart of my most used champs this season. You can see Tigra was used for 48% of my fights. That means almost a 1 in 2 chance. What am I trying to say? That means for every fight I took, there was like almost a 50-50 of me using Tigra for it, which is crazy, honestly. I don't even know what to say about that. Mega Sentinel 8.8, so there was like almost a 1 in 10 chance that I used her. And yeah, you can see the rest there. Not all of them show up, but you get the general idea. We moved down, I have it in a different format with some of the characters on it. And then there's my win-loss ratio. Or not my win-loss ratio, but the alliances. We had 5 straight wins, and then, yeah, we just had a really bad season after that. It was unfortunate, but it is what it is. This is a profile pic I got from my leader. I guess I need to explain how this works. If you get an award for war, then you get an exclusive profile pic. This one actually was like a Christmas gift, so this one doesn't count, but this is my first profile pic I got from the Alliance. Captain Britain, looks really good. My second one for an award, this is Tigra, and I got this award for, you can see down here, mini boss killer in my battle group. I took the most mini bosses and had, well, I'm not sure if I had the best mini solo rate, I probably didn't, but I did take the most mini bosses in my battle group. So yeah, that, I might have had like one of the better mini solo rates, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. I had, I don't even know. I'm not even trying to read that right now. Anyway, yeah. So those are my awards for the season. And so that's my season recap. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is probably kind of long and a lot of just me talking. Well, it really is just me talking, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.